welcome back to Building Belmont podcast. And if it's your first time joining us, then welcome to the Building Belmont podcast. Maybe you're exploring Belmont as your home, a place to start your home, or you were born and raised here. We're so excited to have you on the podcast where we capture stories, share information, and create connections. So today we have a familiar face and then a new face, but he shouldn't be a new face to most of you in the community. Today we have Jamie Campbell, who has joined us before, has been instrumental in helping us to share the information necessary in the city of Belmont. She is the public information officer and the city clerk for Belmont. She has a large capacity, so she wears multiple hats, and we thank you for that. And then we have Zip Stowe from Parks and Recreation, and today we're going to talk about the new rec center, but there's a lot going on as it pertains to Parks and Rec, and if you have children, then you're definitely leaning in right now to everything that's happening. But we're going to start with the rec center, but first, Zip, let's share a little bit of your story. How did you come to Belmont? How did you come to be in Parks and Recreation?
I've been in Parks and Recreation for over 30 years. I first started as a volunteer with the city of Mount Holly, and then went on being recreation director there. Then I've been to several different towns doing recreation. And it's a passion for me. I love doing it.
So you started with Mount Holly?
I started not actually with the city of Mount Holly. It really was Gaston County. I started with Gaston County Parks and Recreation as a volunteer. Okay. And then they hired me during the summer when I was in college. I attended Western Carolina University and then majored in Parks and Recreation.
What did they teach you in college that you use now?
Just about everything. I mean, mostly budgets, how to handle staff, programming, a lot of programming classes we had. So yeah, it taught me a lot of things. You know, working with the people and working with the public. You know, special events. You know, all type of things. So it's a multitude of things that you can do in Parks and Rec.
Okay. So now tell me, why Belmont? How did you end up in Belmont?
I always had kept my eye on Belmont from the years. I was currently with the city of Laurel. I had been with the city of Gastonia, but I always had my eye on Belmont and saw the great things that they were doing here. So I thought it was a good fit when I came in for the interview, and it just worked out great.
And how long have you been with us now?
About 6 years.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for your service. And it was actually just Public Service Appreciation Week last week, correct? So thank you both for your service, and thank all of you that helped to serve our community, of course. Jamie, for those that don't know you or haven't seen your previous episodes, will you introduce yourself as well?
Yes, I'm Jamie Campbell. I am the city clerk and the public information officer for the city. I have been with the city for just about 5 years, and I, like you said, wear a lot of different hats and involved in a lot of different projects. So I thought it was important that we get Zip on here to talk about one of the biggest projects, and the biggest project actually we've done since I've been here as far as funding goes. So, and it's, you know, a huge community project. So I know that our citizens are really excited about this. And so we wanted to get out and get some more information out into the public about what is coming. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, tell us how long this has been in the making, or the process to get us here now. If you're driving down into East Belmont, East Catawba Street by the City Works building, you'll see this structure going up now. Yes. And we're going to talk about that today. But let's talk about the process that it took to get us here, and really the catalyst for saying this needs to happen.
Well, this has been in talks for over 12 years. And when I first got here, it was a previous bond for the city, but because of economic conditions, I think in 2007, 2008, they weren't able to start the task. So when I came on board, I happened to go to a feasibility study group with the UNCC Charlotte, and I talked to those guys. So they actually came out and did a feasibility study on the rec center, and they saw, and the city council and the citizens saw that it was something that we could do. So that's how the process started. So we went public meetings and all the different things. We had at least 4 or 5 group meetings with the public to come up with the design of what we wanted to see at the rec center. So that's how everything started.
Wow. Yeah, and we did an online survey and asked people what they wanted to see within the rec center, what was most important. And those things were then reviewed with the City Council and the Parks and Rec Board to talk about the different features that would be included in the rec center. So it includes most of them. I don't necessarily think all of them. You know, one of the things I think people were really wanting was a pool, but pools are incredibly expensive and incredibly expensive to maintain as well. So this does not include a pool, but it includes so many other things. So
okay. Is it designed to be able to add to it at any point? Say that comes around the corner?
You can expand a little bit, but because of the land down there, we're sitting on probably about 6 to 8 acres, and you can't do a lot of more growth with the acreage that we have down there.
Okay. And sorry, Zip, you were going to say something else?
I was going to say we follow up with our feasibility study. We started with our master plan, so the general public had a lot of input into what we're doing, and then that matched up with our capital improvements plan. That was number one on our list for the last 7-8 years. So that's how all this process started, and everything came together. And then the city council finally approved the project. So that's how we start rolling.
How many years has this been in the making?
Like I said, it's going back 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The planning for this?
The planning for the actual center?
Yes.
Of about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to see it going up now and it being established, it being built. What is the estimated opening date?
March 1st of next year.
Okay. Wow, right around the corner.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. So what we have here now, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, we're actually looking at the renderings for the rec center, what we can expect, and so we're going to be watching through that. Of course, you can listen in and continue to listen in if you're listening on the podcast platform. If you want to see these, go to YouTube or visit cityofbelmont.org, and you'll be able to find these here. So let's walk through this then. Let's walk through the rec center. I'll just pull up the pictures, and you two feel free to walk me through, give me the virtual tour here. So tell me about whatever it is, it's your, you all helped to bring this to life. So the design, the project, the idea, kind of walk us through it, if you will.
The design came out, we visited several recreation centers around the state, North Carolina and South Carolina, and then we got with our design team, which is CPL, helped us with it. So we came up with a design for this project, and I think it's fabulous of what we have here. It's it's around 44,000 square feet of facility, so it's real nice. So we should be able to get a lot of programming and events out of it.
Okay. So we're looking at the front entrance here, correct?
Correct.
What are we seeing here? Is this going to be is this some kind of walking path, or what's going on outside?
So that we're hoping, depending on approval of funding, but that would connect to the Abbey Creek Greenway. And also then connect the Carolina Thread Trail. So it would connect somewhere on the campus. I don't know if this is just a rendering, so I don't know if that's exactly where it would go, but that's the goal. So then you'd be able to take that path, connect to the Abbey Creek Greenway, or go across the street on the Carolina Thread Trail and go into Kevin Lofton Park, which then take you, with improvements on 74 in the bridge, then we'll take you onto the bridge and over into Mecklenburg County on the Carolina Thread Trail. So it's all about connectivity here.
Yeah, with the walk with sidewalks, you'll be able to either go up to Gant Soccer Field, or like she said, across to Kevin Lofton Park. So it's going to be walker friendly, and then we get that trail system in. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, nice amenities. It'll be really a recreation campus.
Beautiful, very beautiful. All right, what are we seeing here? Which entrance exit is this?
So that's the view if you're coming down East Catawba from US 74 Wilkinson Boulevard. So once you come around the curve, Kevin Lofton Park will be on your left-hand side, and up on the hill, this will be the view on the right-hand side. So you see up at the top, there is a reception area or a meeting space.
Okay.
So that will overlook the river.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So that'll be like a conference space, meeting space. What's the capacity roughly?
The capacity will be around 90 people.
Wow.
And then on the balcony, you don't see the balcony here. The balcony, you'll be able to have about 40 to 50 people on the balcony.
Well, that's huge.
And then behind that will be classrooms behind that.
Okay.
And what's below it?
What's this?
What's below it, that's another classroom.
For physical fitness?
For fitness.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what are we seeing over here? Is this a basketball court?
Yes, basketball courts over there. There'll be 3 basketball courts. One will be enclosed, and the other 2 will be separated by a netting.
Okay. And this is going to go into a lobby, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is that event space?
Yes.
Then?
Correct.
Tell me about the design, this architecture. Is this something that you all wanted, or was it something that you turned it over and happened to come up with, or it was proposed to you? Because I love the architecture of this building.
It was really something that was proposed to us, but when we saw the renditions, we really loved it. So, yeah. And I think Jamie can expand on that.
So I know we have Kevin Lofton, so this is a whole campus. So we've got our City Works building, and this building, the City Rec building, is kind of the bridge, or it's a connection between the City Works building and Kevin Lofton Park. Have you seen the City Works building? It's very concrete. That's how it was built, and we renovated the building, so we didn't add any architectural features to it. It was already existing. And so in order to kind of blend a little bit better with the woods and the outdoor of Kevin Lofton Park, they added architectural elements like the wood to bring those two together to really tie the campus together, because it is really and truly an entire campus. We'll have the City Works building, the City Rec building, Kevin Lofton Riverfront Park, a skateboard park, if funding's approved, maybe a splash pad, so the Abbey Creek Greenway, if funding is approved. So you'll have a lot of things right in that area, and we wanted to make sure to connect it. And so that's where you see a lot of those elements coming in. And then the red is to complement our red and our new branding.
Okay. This event center, what do you envision? Who do you envision using that, or how do you envision it being used?
Well, the center was really built for our citizens here, so we hope that they're going to be able to enjoy this and come to the facility and use it. And I think it will be used a lot by citizens of Belmont. But we also want to make it a place that we can be able to have tournaments and different kind of events to bring in outsiders also.
Okay. This one specifically here, weddings, conferences,
Yep.
I mean,
Corporate meetings.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, because the other piece of this is that, we had to come up, or Zip had to come up with a revenue streams for it. So that's one of the things that is facility rental. So during certain times, that would be available for rentals as well.
Well, I'm interested, Zip. Tell me about the rate for this space here.
We haven't really determined what the rate is. We're kind of doing research and checking with other cities and see what they charge.
Okay.
And we should have that shortly.
Okay. Well, it is a beautiful space for an event or events of all kinds. I also like with the way the parking, the driveway is constructed. You can do a lot with having some things there. So you said about 90 inside and about 40 outside?
Correct. That's just on the balcony right here, right. Okay. And it does come with a warming kitchen back there. You'll be able to warm your food up. Okay. And stuff, so it should be nice.
I'll help with your revenue generation. What's it going to cost for me to put an office right here? Name your price, Zip. I want to oversee the river. Honestly, I think I'm going to be finding excuses to be at this place, and I hope that when it's constructed and people even get to experience it now, that they're looking forward to it. Because a rec center, traditionally, I'd love to learn from you professionals how often it is used in the community and how you see this one driving even more attraction or more use.
Well, one reason we built this recreation center is because we did not have a facility for recreation. For instance, for basketball, we got about 300 kids playing basketball. We had to use places outside like the schools or churches. And the time that we would be able to use those spaces kept dwindling for us, and we keep getting more and more participation. So this is going to solve that problem. Okay. And we should be able to expand our recreation programming. I mean, this is going to help out for our dance team. Currently, we had been using the old Ford Center, which was very old, and it was limited to the number of participants we could have. Right now, we have 60 kids in our dance program, getting ready to start a cheerleading program. Gymnastics is growing, so we got a lot of things that's growing that we need more space for, and that's going to solve a lot of those problems.
Very good. What are we looking at then here on this side?
That is the back view. So if you're in the parking lot that connects the City Works building from the City Rec Center, that's the view from the back side of the rec center.
Okay, so City Works would be right here?
Yes.
So
yep, it has a connected parking lot. One of the things that we wanted to make sure we had an abundance of parking, because Parks and Recreation plans on having tournaments here. So when you have tournaments, you have a lot of people that come. So we needed to make sure that there was plenty of parking, and so combining that with the parking at the City Work Center worked out really well.
Perfect. Yeah, and this right here, this will provide, it'll be unique because it'll be close for our seniors to be able to use. It'll be about 75 parking places right here. On the side over here, we should have an additional 150 to 200 parking places over there at the main entrance.
Very good. Best parking situation. Okay, so then we have the circular driveway. Is that going to be a part of it as well?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
How do you imagine that being used here? It's kind of drop off and pick up, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm imagining a nice big event here with a little bit of valet here. It's gonna be quite.
We'll try it.
Center.
That's a good idea. We definitely will try that.
We'll make it happen. All right, we're going inside now. Okay, tell me about the lobby here. That is going to be the painting. Is it the same one from downtown?
It is. So one of the things I was really excited about, because I worked with the mural artist and the one in downtown, was the fact that isn't necessarily permanent, because that area will be redeveloped eventually, and I was always trying to figure out how can we preserve that mural. And when I saw the renderings, I was like, oh, this is perfect. So she's actually going to come in and recreate it in the lobby, and the colors and everything else that it's going to add are absolutely amazing. So that will be hopefully done by the time everything opens. So super excited. The Garden of Journey is the mural artist. So.
Very good. And this is the same mural. Let's explain it for people that don't know where this is at. Where is this in downtown?
It's the same mural that is behind Sammy's in the Mill Street parking lot. If you go actually down, there's the fence on Mill Street. If you go down and park in the lower part of that parking lot, it is on the large wall.
It's like Belmont's favorite backdrop for people on Instagram.
It is.
It's kind of becoming like the what is it in South End there by Jenny's, the wall of, is it hearts?
Yes.
That wall of hearts there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Belmont's kind of creating their own little with that one. It's probably the most popular tourist picture around. But okay, so now we're in the lobby. What are we looking at here?
This will be the first thing we see when you go in. You'll be see the receptionist right here, so you'll be able to do your registrations and get admittance into the facility from the staffing right here, and they will be very customer service friendly to be able to help you with anything that you need.
And all of these doors, what are we looking at?
You're looking at different. If you go behind right here, you're looking at a media room back here. We're going to try to have video games and different things like that for the people to come in and do your media stuff, maybe some classes or different things like that.
Okay, and this one?
This one right here is just an additional exercise room that you'll be able to have.
Oh, okay, so this is all the same
right
room here. Mm-hmm. And we go upstairs. Where do we go?
If you go upstairs, you go into our walking track. Walking track is going to be one of the most popular things there at the rec center, besides the basketball courts. I think eight laps will be a mile around the court.
Okay.
You'll be able to access that from this area and also from the top area, from the second floor. You'll be able to walk right in to where the 75 parking places were. Mm-hmm. You'll be able to walk in right from there into the overhead walking track. And you did mention space up there. Right when you come in, there's going to be an office space available for people to be able to use also. We did send out a sponsorship package, and that room, one of the rooms, is going to be available for sponsors to be able to purchase and use.
Okay. Well, people are listening now, and people are interested. So, are those sponsorships still open, and what does that look like?
You can just email me, Jamie, and we can send you a sponsorship package.
Okay.
Those are available. We just got put those out a couple of weeks ago.
Very good. So you're telling me I can have an office, or I could simply name an office. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
So it's not leasing space; it's simply sponsoring it and having your name on it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you will have access to some space too. Right now, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 to 12, and then Saturdays and Sundays. You'll have access to that office space to be able to use. It's kind of going to be a shared space with some of the part-time staff to be able to use, but somebody should be able to utilize that space also. So we particularly want to have somebody there when we have our tournaments and events on that weekend or any kind of events. I think it's going to be a hot place for somebody to be able to use for business opportunities.
Yeah. So one of the things that Zip had put in there was if there was an orthopedic doctor of some sort that wanted to bring in, or one of the larger healthcare providers, one of his ideas was they could use it if they had someone on staff when the tournaments were going on for injuries and things like that. So that was, but also a care provider that wanted to do checkups for seniors, they could provide it and be used for things like that. Okay. So it's a community benefit as well. So, but there's a lot of different possibilities for what it can be used for.
So it'll be a public shared space, but then it can also be set aside specifically for use.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We're here now in the, what are we looking at here?
That's still the lobby. It's just a different view of the
So
lobby.
this is where we came in up front, right?
Right.
And then now we're in the lobby. Is this a fireplace? What do we got going on here? It's a TV?
Yes, it's a fireplace. It's a gas fireplace in there. That was one of the things that some of the people wanted to see in there. So that's one of the things we got. It'll bring a pretty place to be able to sit around the fireplace and just sit and just mingle and chill.
Okay. And then we got a cafe. What can we expect of the cafe? Is that going to be more like concession for tournaments, or is that going to be an ongoing availability for people that come here?
It'll be more of a concession stand for tournaments and events right here. And then you have the vending machines in this area right here.
Okay. So on a traditional day, say someone comes in here for a walk and they want to grab something, they'll have the vending machine. Will they have options here?
Yes, we plenty of options. We're still working on that, who the vendor is going to be for that.
Okay.
So it's a lot of opportunities for people to come in, for vendors, and like Jamie said, orthopedics, somebody or a hospital or anybody to come in to help us with this facility.
Would it be more ideal to have a permanent vendor or to rotate vendors from your perspective?
Take it by ear and just see what's going to be available, what the people going to cater to and what they're going to like. Mm-hmm. So we don't know that yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be a work in progress.
Yeah. Well, I asked you, obviously, Belmont and the surrounding area is very entrepreneurial. And so with creating connection and sharing information here, people are listening in on this, and maybe someone out there has a space where they do shakes and coffee or something, and they're, oh my gosh, this might be my space now. So that's where I'm kind of more so asking to not
it could be
lead anyone astray. So the answer is maybe, and it depends.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's okay.
It could be.
We are still in the process, So I just like the idea of being able to facilitate that kind of growth in entrepreneurs or local businesses, especially. So, okay. And the cafeteria here, what kind of use outside of tournaments? Just a place, again, for people to kind of have a spot to come and work remotely? Are we going to have some awesome Wi-Fi in this place?
Oh, yeah, we should have plenty of Wi-Fi for people to come in and just chill at those desks and tables and just hang out.
Okay. Well, I like, again, having a place to go and work remote. Okay, now I'm intrigued. What are we seeing? Where are we at now? Is this just opposite of where we were just looking?
Yeah.
In the cafeteria?
It's still in the lobby area. And these are just booths that you can sit at for a little bit more privacy. There are also somewhere in this, and I don't think it's included on the renderings, but there will be a display case for... we're going to display some historical artifacts from around Belmont and give some people some history and bring those into the community. So that will be in this area as well. But lots of seating for different things, which is really important, different types of seating. What's great about this rec center is it's built for so many different generations, and and you can age with it. So the walking track is really important for seniors. You can have intramural basketball at certain times, if all coordinated through Parks and Rec, different things that you can do, but a lot of gathering spaces where people can just, come in for a class and then want to, sit down and converse with their friends afterward and come down here and sit and, or bring, like you said, your kids play games and video games, and then maybe they're done and they're waiting for mom and dad to come pick them up, and they have a place to sit there as well. So it just all depends. Again, citizens that want to come down, plop a laptop down for an hour or two and just do some work, and they just want to be in a public environment. It has a lot of different uses.
I think I found my new favorite meeting place in Belmont. I'm definitely going to do a lot of meetings here. Okay, I like that. I like the idea of the parents being able to, when they bring their kids, still have some level of efficiency to do some work or focus on other things or sit down and pay some bills or just play some games, whatever it may be. So really bringing the community together in this. I see a lot of connection happening here outside of just the sports and the rec.
Yep.
Okay. So I think the next one I saw was a gymnastics room. Is that right?
Yes. And I mentioned before, we have a lot of kids doing gymnastics right now, and we actually need more space, and they need more time to be able to do those classes and events in there. So this is going to help us out a lot of having this additional space.
What's the capacity in this room?
The capacity with that is about 80 to 90 kids, I think, in that space.
For comparison, how many can we fit in Ford, or are they fitting in Ford right now?
The Ford Center, we're doing about 50 to 60.
Okay, so significant larger. I think we're looking at then the upper level and the walking track, yes?
Correct. Mm-hmm. And this right here, you're looking at another area that you can be able to come and sit at from the entrance that's back over there. So you'll be able to come in and go around the walking track. The walking track will be around 2 basketball courts. One of the basketball courts is going to be fully enclosed, and the other 2 you'll be able to, when you walk around the track, you'll be able to see the kids down there playing.
Okay. And then we got some equipment right here. Is that?
And we'll have some stationary fitness equipment around the walking track for people to be able to use also.
Okay. Any free weights, anything like that?
No free weights. We felt like that it was so much free weights within the community that we didn't want to duplicate our services, so we just added a couple of stations for people to come in to use.
Okay. So mainly cardio.
Right, mainly cardio.
Not as much my favorite place, but still gonna love it. Just give me something to lift up and put down around here, Zip. All right.
And I think it's not in the picture, but I think when we're down in the room down there, in the lobby room, it's an area, indoor play unit in that area also. So that's not on this photo right here nowhere, but it's going to be an indoor play unit where the little kids can go in and play, and would consist of the first floor and the second floor. So you'll be able to climb all the way up through this tunnel, all the way up to the second floor or down, vice versa. Okay. So it's going to be something additional for the kids to be able to utilize.
Okay, that's great. And is that more like a kind of a, I don't want to call it a daycare, but a place for younger kids, like little ones to hang out and be, or all ages?
It'll be mostly for the 3 to 12-year-old age group.
Okay.
That age group to come in and use.
Okay. And so now we're looking at the elevated walking path here?
Right.
Okay.
And that's around the 2 basketball courts.
Now, is this going to corner that hard? Or is it going to be more circular? Or is this maybe just the rendering?
That's just the rendering. That's just the rendering, yeah. It'll be a little bit more rounded. You don't see it in here because of how the photo is.
Okay. I was hoping so. That is a sharp turn. If you're running, you're taking some sharp 90-degree angles. All right, this is my favorite space. So in addition to Keanu's office over here, we have, this is the 90 capacity of 90 event space?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so will this be able to be reconfigured? What is this going to look like?
Yes. It's storage space back there that you could take all this out and have a clear space for somebody to come in and redesign and reset up what they want to see when they bring events in.
Okay. And then the outside area, is it going to be for sitting, standing, or again, it can all be reconfigured?
It can be reconfigured. Mm-hmm.
I think City Council is going to start to meet up here. I mean, all right. Anything else you want to share about this space?
No, it's nice. I like the. We kind of incorporate little artsy stuff into everybody. So this building is going to be a little bit for everybody to be able to use and hopefully love.
So it's really and truly a very versatile space, and that's how Zip and the team had built it to be able to use for a lot of different things, because there's a big need in the community for a lot of different things, and that's what this rec center is really and truly encompassing, is the needs for a lot of different uses.
And we haven't left the soccer people out either. So we're gonna have a portable poly board around here too that you'll be able to play indoor soccer.
Okay.
So that's gonna be huge for us too.
Yeah, I love that. Pickleball. Zach's a big pickleball guy, so I think he's gonna love this.
Yeah.
Someone out there wants to see this. We'll link it in the notes so you can experience it. All right. So I think we've pretty well covered the rec center. Jamie and Zip, anything else that you all want to add to the conversation before we close this episode?
Just want to say that we're on schedule to open up hopefully March the 1st, unless something foreseeable happens. But the guys are moving pretty quick. We went vertical last week, doing a retaining wall. The elevators is being constructed, so it's really going vertical. They're really going fast.
Okay.
So this is going to be open to our citizens. That was one of the things that was discussed. Do we open it to our citizens and then have a fee for outside citizens? And I think it was determined that, at least at the start, we're going to see how it's used by our citizens because their tax dollars are paying for it. So having it open to them for them to use for the different recreation opportunities. You'll have to pay additional for the classes and things like that, but to come in to use the walking track, and do all those kind of things, it would be free to our Belmont citizens. So
how do you verify that?
Through our registration software, when you come in and register for our programs and events, we actually have GIS tracking to be able to say where you're inside the city limits or not inside the city limits. But we still want to keep in mind that outside people will be able to use the facility through our registration process when they sign up for classes like basketball or gymnastics or some of those things. They will have access that way. Because we've been trying to cater to everybody. But like I said, like Jamie alluded, we're going to start slow first for our residents first, and then we're going to hopefully expand out to everybody else.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that would be a really good problem to have for people to be so interested in wanting to be there and spend the time that you get to tackle that hurdle when it comes.
Yeah, I mean, and things like the indoor play unit, you don't have to pay to come in to play on the indoor play unit, and so giving our residents, the opportunity for their kids to be able to enjoy that is and then kind of figuring out the use, how it's being used over the first, probably 6 months to a year. If it's something that we can open up, what that fee structure looks like, I don't know, but making sure that we're giving our citizens that first priority, it felt was really important. So
yeah, well, it's a good way to test the market as well and to grow slowly, which is a good thing in business sometimes. So I love that. Well, thank you for what both of you do for the community. We have a lot that's coming up as well. The skate park, Kevin Lofton Park. Thank you guys again for everything that you do for the community and for spending some time to walk us through the rec center today.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Building Belmont podcast. I'm your host, Keanu Trujillo, reminding you to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And of course, share with a friend, share with a neighbor. We'll see you again next week as we capture more stories, create more connection, and share more information here on the Building Belmont podcast.